Hey everyone, and welcome to the ACGL Grind, powered by Predator. Today we're going to be looking at doing the Free Fire. It is obviously a exciting time this month because you guys have 5 weeks to sort of play in a role of qualifying through the massive prize pool. But before we even talk about prize pools and all of that, we just want to say massive thank you to all the people spending their time this evening coming in and registering for this tournament. There's like 53 participants that we have over here. And that's massive numbers that we are seeing from acgl.gg. That's where you guys can go to find more information on this. But my name is Iro, guys, and I'm going to be your host and co-caster. And I'll be joined by Zeno, who will be joining us in the live game, giving us his input, obviously, on the game. You guys love Zeno. He's going to be here joining us on this. But when we're looking at the ACGL grind, it is essentially that, right? It's you guys grinding to take the 10,000 prize pool guaranteed to a 15,000 Rand prize pool. And that all comes through on how you guys grind on social media. The breakdown on prize pool split is going to be first for 5,000 Rand, second for 3,000 Rand, and then the third is going to be 2,000 Rand. But you have to grind in order to also get there in a 5-week format. We're on our second week where we're looking at these players compete in the tournament. And if we look at week's 1 results, we do have the likes of these teams that managed to do really well. Just Try Pro. They were first with 84 points, 53 kills in the first week over there. Valor Esports with 51 points, 26 kills. Then third was Arise, guys, with 44 points and 20 kills. So hopefully we get to see some of these teams yet again battling it out in week number 2. If you guys want to find yourself in the grand finale after 5 weeks, you have to come week in and week out and outperform everyone by placing top 12 in the 5-week format. So you tell me how you do that, because I've seen how Free Fire can be and how sweaty you guys can be on your mobile phones. It's absolutely insane. But to come through from a Predator and as well as ACGL is a massive W for all African countries to be participating in such a heated tournament like Free Fire with a guaranteed 10,000 Rand prize pool. When we're looking at the mechanics of this right over here, we can see what you guys can do to increase it. We need 32 signups per week, and that is going to add an additional 2,000 Rand to the prize pool. We need 150 concurrent viewers on any one of the streams. So if we can get 150 people today concurrently, we can unlock 1,000 Rand guaranteed. So make sure that you guys are sharing it to your friends and families, especially the Free Fire participants. If you want more money to play with, share the stream. And then we need a 1 million social reach on the tag, hashtag FFZA grind. That is going to guarantee you an extra 2,000 Rand. So when you guys are tweeting out your placements or anything regarding the ACGL grind powered by Predator, make sure to use the hashtag FFZA grind. You don't want to miss out on that by just adding an additional 2,000 Rand to the massive prize pool right over there. So that is what ACGL grind is all about, and it's not the first that we've seen this format come out from ACGL, and definitely don't think it's going to be the last. But seeing that we are here, guys, what do you guys think about the ACGL last week? How did that go? What was your guys' feedback? Who were your favorite teams performing? Were there some shockers over there? My last time seeing the Free Fire was the last season of the ACGL right over there. And guys, we saw some massive clutch plays, some good end game plays as well coming in from these guys. So it was absolutely beautiful. But for week 2, guys, same consistency that we're going to be getting. We're going to get 3 games for the evening, and I would appreciate if you guys have already gotten your dinner, you guys already gotten your snacks, you guys already settled in for this. And for myself, you know, when we say hustlers don't stop, they just keep going. I was up at 4 o'clock and we were doing this right over here for you guys from 7 till hopefully just before 9 o'clock, and we'll see what that is going to be like. Games will be starting pretty much soon, coming out from the first game over there, and we're gonna be seeing some of these teams participate in a massive 3 game week number 2, and that's gonna be very interesting from the African countries that participate. I see a lot of heat that comes out from like Nigeria and South Africa. Those 2 countries, I feel, have the esports talent to always dominate, especially in the mobile space. Last season was absolutely crazy when we saw some of the gameplays coming out from Free Fire, from the Nigerian teams, from the South African teams, but that doesn't put light away from the rest of Africa where they are now competing in here. But game number 1 is on the way over here, and we're going from Hango all the way down to Cape Town. That is the route these players are choosing to go. And Zeno, welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty great, to be honest. It's been a minute since we've talked, Iro. How have you been?
I've been well. I've been chilling, man. How about yourself? How's things your side?
I've been pretty all right. Well, we'll be going with 12 teams if I get that correct, because we're seeing 44 players. So okay, 1 team is incomplete, but 11 teams will be going into the first battle on Bermuda. We have Next Esports going towards Riverside, but it's going to take Mill. It's definitely going to be a contested fight. I wish we had a 3D room to see the amount of teams landing here, but I know they are for sure contested, because this spot, even in Clash Squad, it's always the most heated spot to be on. Next already losing 2 players. Rather unfortunate for them. They're hopping into straight to TN. What is going on their side? They seem to be taking a bit of damage, but we don't know exactly who they're going up against. Back in middle, Medellin will take 2 of the Next Esports players. They might have taken 3 just now. Can we get to Next real quick?
Let's see what that's going to be looking like. Lion taking a bit of damage over there from distance. And it is a contested spot, a 50-50 that we get to see in these beautiful positions. And we say beautiful because action is hardly ever seen in an off-spawn situation, especially Free Fire. It's almost like the grand finals that we did do together, Zeno, where they had their dedicated drop spots. But these are qualifying. This means securing your map, your zone, and so forth. And right now, we've got some massive beams coming out from Connor over here. You know, we're going in at the top as well. And RXC now on this position.
Just like you said, it is the qualifier. So I am expecting us to see a lot of like early 50-50s, less of the more coordinated. Every team is picking a drop spot for each map, and the teams are taking it like till the 3rd ring before we get an actual fight. I'm predicting we're gonna see a lot of 50-50s, like a lot of just one team steamrolling until we get to maybe the semis. Because the qualifier is still open for everybody. There's a lot of teams, over 70 teams showing up. We need to get through all of them rather quickly. And I wasn't here for last week, so I'm not really sure what the team what I'm supposed to expect from the team. Are these fresh teams, or did any of them play last week?
It could potentially be a fresh round of teams that come into this one over here. All different lobbies that is happening concurrently throughout over there, because from the week 2 participants, there seems to be 53.
Oh, okay. That's most likely new team. But so far, we have Next Esports as the first team to be getting eliminated that we know of. Yeah, Esports, they've lost 1 player already, and they seem to be doing pretty not so great here, because they have one man that just landed straight onto 2 people. Another one that's low-key lost, but he will be getting the knock somehow. That is the best RNG I have ever seen in this game. Because
honestly, knocking
a sneeze.
Literally.
My goodness. With the pocket shop, can he get medkits to get himself back in the game? Will he opt to go for will he opt to go loot for his teammate? Is he going to eagle the fight? The choices are a lot, because you do not want to getting eliminated off of round 1. I think it's going to be 6 games that will be played today, so that is going to put us a cool 2 hours. You do not want your first hour of the game to be you playing just 5 or 6 minutes of the actual playtime, because we should still be in map 1 heading towards zone 2 actually. And the teams are still looking very strong. So getting eliminated now is not going to be in anyone's favor. Just try. I can't see how much kills they've put up, but they are controlling factory as of now. Judging by what my experience as a caster, I do not see people taking a factory fight right about now, to be honest. maybe we're gonna see them go off in. I think is that Pochinok yet? We're gonna see them go up in Pochinok, but definitely not Factory because Factory is a spot you typically tend to avoid early on in the game because it has a lot of entryways and very little exits.
Yeah, so obviously taking a fight right now is going to be too risky in those positions, especially being that this is just game number one. Still have to feel out the environment, who you're going up against, etc. But right now, 31 players remain. There could be a potential buybacks coming in at a later stage right now. But it is crazy to see a lot of off-spawn action occur so early on in game number one. Usually, Battle Royale, very slow off-spawn because not a lot of teams go for that 50-50. And for the new viewers out there that don't understand what 50-50 means, it means 50% chance you live, 50% chance you die. And that happens in an off-spawn situation because of how much RNG goes into Battle Royale. You could be a player that goes into a chest and picks up ammo, and the other player picks up an AR. It's that simple.
Honestly, that is actually the most painful thing to happen, to be honest.
Literally.
Because you just there stuck wondering how did they get 2 weapons and I'm picking up just an ammo stack, a pack of ammo.
Literally, so RNG, and that's the nature of it. So whether you take that fight very early in an off-spawn situation becomes a big gamble, and to survive is always great. It also builds confidence into the second game, third, etc. But right now, a lot of these guys have lost some teams, so we have had some confirmed team wipes as well. So we're gonna have to see exactly what this is gonna look like going into the end game. But it's already showing so much bloodbath in this game number one.
Next, Esports and TN will be the only 2 confirmed teams that have been eliminated so far. Unlucky for Jason, he wasn't able to make it into that window. Can his teammate get him back up? They will be getting him back up, but he was bleeding quick. They do not want to go up against a Raphael, especially in a situation where they have the high ground. Because a Raphael it's a dangerous skill because it's silenced, and if you knock him with a marksman, they bleed out quick, very quick. That's why his HP looked like he was just getting absorbed, not even like he's bleeding out. What is their playstyle going to evolve to though? Because they have 1 man on the bridge. That is not enough. That's literally not enough because you have to give the teammates down there. If they get him knocked and eliminated on the bridge, it's going to put them in a staggered 3v4 situation, and that is not a situation they want to be in right about now. It doesn't seem like the team above them is going to take the fight, though.
No, it doesn't look like it. And also, on player number 4, Benny, he needs to come into team, chemistry-wise, and see what he's going to do. But he's quite separated from the rest of his teammates.
I think Benny staying separated is strictly because of his role as a sniper. HA will be another team that's confirmed eliminated. That is 3 teams that are currently confirmed to be back in the lobby waiting for the second game for today. It is 25 players and 3 eliminations. 2 RS Silicon? No, that's Luxon. So Medellin Luxon. The Medellin squad seems to be doing pretty solidly for themselves. With 4 eliminations, they're doing pretty great. Right, if I do say so myself, taking Peak, even though Peak is not taking Peak on its own is a feat, to be honest. But then no one's really rotating towards this side. But this could be a possible choke point because a lot of people are going to try to attempt getting a buyback in Peak, and a lot of people are also going to try to come back to Peak because Peak has pretty much the best loot in the game. It's quite literally the hottest drop you could get since the inception of the game.
Damn, so yeah, that is hectic. We do have some action over here. Player goes down, unfortunate right over there, but it is still going to be a full 3v3 situation that we have our hands, and another player goes down in this position yet again, and that means MBL has lost 3 players, and now Soloco left alone, but we do see Uko and Luxon come back into fighting position, but they're going to obviously move away from such a heated drop that is happening right over there.
Really quick fingers coming in from Selko there to buy back his 2 teammates when he's absolutely pressured like that. It was honest. I think that's a show of experience, to be honest. But Medellin will lose half their attack force. They almost got fully squad wiped there, even though they had sort of the advantage. They had a zonal advantage, but I think they panicked a bit because they gave up space way too quickly, which let the other team just completely obliterate them and almost send them back to the lobby. And I'm genuinely surprised that the solo is still alive this late in the game. To me, I thought he was going to be one of the first few people to be getting eliminated. The Disney squad will be sitting with a full stack still. I don't think they have that many eliminations though. Axel is taking a lot of damage. He needs to get in just for comic relief. He needs to get in because he's not winning a 1v4. Not against the teams that we're currently seeing. He's ill-equipped.
No, he's not gonna get in. Oh, GG's.
Unlucky for him. Because
Yeah. So
look
now
at the teams we see Medellin coming in with they barely survived the squad wipe. We're seeing Disney. We're seeing a lot of strong teams. He's not clutching up a 1v4 even if he got in there.
No, he's not. But he could have gone in with a rat play that we've seen countless times. But honestly, oh, what a great snipe shot from distance, 130 meters out, managing to get some damage over there. Mega looking very good with that sniper.
And making sure the walls don't stay. He gets 114, doesn't get a second. Chrono will be going up. Unlucky for him, he's not able to get those 2 knocks that he needs. But I mean, the rat play would have been valid, to be honest. Like, I was hoping he'd get that rat play in. I wasn't hoping he'd get in the 1v4, to be honest. I don't know how he took that much damage, though. But Mega will be coming in, showing that he is a ridiculous sniper, getting a knock yet again. Still doing dangerous damage, confirms a knock on, and a confirm on Benny. Still bleeding through the walls there. Is he going to get yet another knock? 86,
Ooh.
shooting him out the vehicle. Pop out the
Gets a
V.
knock.
Pandas will be getting eliminated by Mega. Mega is setting the pace for the snipers in today's game.
No ways. The accuracy coming out from this player Mega right now. Picking up so many eliminations and looking really well with that sniper from distance.
Coming off with a 3K on a single team, he is absolutely walking these guys through the park right now. If he catches the last guy, it would actually be comical. He's trying to find that 1 pixel where he can actually get him on because he sees his gun already. It's over.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's. He did a squad wipe with double snipers. Yeah,
Honestly, Mega is going crazy right now. The way he managed to get the snipes from distance as well, and the accuracy in those snipes were perfect. Honestly, picking up a full squad wipe as well as a solo honestly shows his key involvement in this team right now. Power, Lusunio, and Uncle Jay have someone they can rely on.
My goodness, you rarely get to see Medellin sniping, especially when it comes to qualifiers. It seems Medellin will be getting eliminated right about now. Unlucky for them. But it's 16 players left in this lobby. This tribe will be sitting with, I don't know how many kills they have.
Right?
Just try coming in with
8 kills.
8 eliminations. 8 eliminations is a pretty solid number too. Still, I think it's 16 teams, so they should be in the top 5 teams that are currently left alive. Will they be able to make it to the top 3 though? Because having 8 eliminations and not making it to top 3 is definite. It's not going to give you as much points as you need. And when you're in the qualifiers, you need to max out as much points as you can get per game. If your team can go 20 eliminations and a win, go for it. But just go crazy on the elimination to guarantee your spot when it comes to the semis, to the quarters, semis, and to making it to the actual grand finals.
The man with the squad wipe has gotten eliminated. Sneaky on the other side of things, picking up the elimination for himself over there. Now you're seeing 15 players go down. It is a small retail space that we do find ourselves in, and the Van and Sneaky, honestly, it's a shotgun in the hand, going absolutely crazy, picking up more eliminations. It's just a full bloodbath that we are witnessing right over there. 13 players on the map and counting.
Sneaky just absolutely running it down with the shotguns. No need for safety, no safety measures, just running straight down. Where didn't even put a glue wall down, not even one time. He didn't even check his corners. He was just running, and if he hears a sound, he shoots. That's absolutely insane, to be honest. But 11 players will be left in this lobby. It looks like it's going to be a clock tower battle. Clock tower battles are usually very very confusing because one team could have natural cover, one team could have the high ground. There's no definite spot that is a guaranteed win for Clock Tower. Because if you're playing in peak, if you're playing a central building, you have a 60% chance of securing a victory. But Clock Tower has way too many variables, way too many spots to hide, and way too many places that can absolutely turn the tide of the battle to even try to predict what team is going to come out on top or what team has the best advantage. Disney will be coming in with, I don't know how many eliminations, but it doesn't seem like they're doing pretty hot on eliminations because I know Disney to be a team that pushes straight in when they're running it down. There's 6 on eliminations. They're not trying to take any risks. They should be in the top 6, in the top 4 already.
I mean, going in with 6 eliminations here in the end game with a potential victory at hand that they could work with is going to be very good for this team. But when you have a try that's come in over here as well, very aggressively in the beginning, not going to be too easy. And we can see Windy and them now trying to put themselves in a position where they can get eliminations. And Jay managing to get a knock as well over there. So now the numbers are in favor for Try. Let's see exactly what happens right over here. Fox managing to get revived. He's going to be back in fighting position. So it's going to be a full 4v4 situation here for the remaining players. And again, Buki goes down, Fox goes down, and Try is honestly walking over the opposition players right over here with just one more player at hand to get a full squad wipe. And Try goes down. JC is just alone as a solo.
Absolute cinema. Absolute flipping cinema. The perfect landmine to take out 3 players is insane. The level of skill that takes, the level of trust in your abilities you need to have to even attempt that is absolutely mental. This Try have been pretty much shut down at this point because they're down to just Juicy. Juicy's with double snipers. It's not looking, he does not want to be caught in close quarters. That's why he didn't get the elimination at Emperor. I know Juicy to be a very aggressive player, but he has double snipers. That's the reason his team wasn't able to get that squad wipe play. Yeah. Because he couldn't push in. He just actually could not even attempt to go in there. It's a 1v1v1. It's quite literally anyone's game.
Literally anyone game right here. Emperor goes down. Uncle Jay did a huge clutch here for WK because that landmine obviously picking up 3 players from Just Try. And now it's going to be a 1v1 situation. But it does look like buybacks happen. No way you're getting a buyback in the end game. This is no way.
Oh my days. A squad buyback. How did we not see that coming?
No ways. Juicy went for a buyback in an end game, bringing back the entire Just Try team. And now going in for the Booyah to get that victory. And look at how much eliminations they're walking out with. That is...
eliminations. 18 eliminations to close out the day. My goodness.
Honestly, Uncle Jay looked like he was happy with the clutch plays, but the sneaky Juicy going in for the buyback, bringing in these players over here, absolutely crazy. I didn't expect that. I thought, you know, going in for a 3-way 1v1v1 would have potentially been the situation. But clearly, that was not it in Juicy's mind. He went in, got the buyback, a full squad then came into this position. And we did see them winning the Boo-ha over there. So fantastic plays coming out from Just Try. And that is game number 1. We still got 2 more games at hand here, guys, where you guys can continue being entertained by the ACGL grind powered by Predator. But guys, before we actually bring in standings for game number 1, we need to take a little bit of a short break. We will be back with more action and the updated leaderboard for week number 2.
Especially when it comes to qualified. He's
not, but he could have. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ACGL grind powered by Editor. If you guys don't know what we are doing, it is the Free Fire week number 2, where there is a total prize pool of 10,000 Rand that these players are trying to qualify over a 5-week period. But you guys can also go ahead and grind on the ACGL platforms to bring the prize pool from 10,000 Rand to 15,000 Rand. And we'll talk about those mechanics at a later stage. Before we do that, I want to talk about that leaderboard, because we've seen some massive plays that came in from game number 1. Just Try, obviously, going to be sitting at the very top of that leaderboard with 18 eliminations secured over there. But YKFM Esports, where they managed to get some huge clutch plays, and the line mine that was on the 3 players from Just Try was absolutely crazy right over there. Zeno, talk us through the top 6 players that we do have over here.
All right, just like Iro said earlier, JT came in with an insane last second buyback for a secured victory there. WK Uncle J is actually a player we need to watch out for, because that landmine, you're getting overwhelmed by a team, and he still had he was still calm enough to place 3 landmines to guarantee a triple knock and triple confirm. Almost got the entire JT squad out. After the game, we didn't really see much from them, but they put up pretty solid points and got into the 3rd place. That is pretty solid for them. Faz OP, we didn't really see much of their gameplay. I don't really know how Faz got up there, but Valor Esports, we did see them, but they weren't really having the best rotation of the first game. Medellin were just really unlucky when it came to placements, because they had pretty good rotations, they had pretty good fights, but just pretty unlucky, as they were mostly getting 3rd party, and that was honestly what was their downfall. But diving straight into map 2, we will be on Purgatory. It is looking like Next Esports will be dropping off rather early, going to Moat House. This is a very contested spot, especially from the angle that the plane is leaving from. Are they going to be able to survive this, though? Because since it's the qualifiers, we are going with a 3-map instead of a 6-map split. So 1 game down already. They have only 2 games left to actually buckle up and see if they're going to make it to the quarterfinals.
Honestly, we're gonna have to wait and see what that's gonna look like. But already we can see a very scattered and unorganized team coming into play. Ezio already getting knocked, Curse already taking massive damage, Snipe and LedX also on the horizon of just not finding any loot. You can see Curse taking damage from far, and that is going to be him going down. Ezio and Curse now out of this one. LedX also getting out of this one. It's down to Snipe. No, my bad. Ledek still alive. He's actually sneaked up on that opponent over there, and that was a really good play for him.
Ledek will pick up the first elimination we've seen from Next Esports today. It is pretty solid. It's looking like it's pretty good for them so far, to be honest. He gets the coins. He might be getting eliminated. As much as it's looking good, it's still not looking very great, because his teammates Ezio and Curse will be getting eliminated. He gets Ezio back. That cost him 1,000. He couldn't afford to take the risk, because buy him back with the pocket shot cost a lot more than it would in the regular buy point, and that makes a lot of sense. But that will keep Next Esports just with a foot out the grave. The Snipe and Ezio are still very far apart, and they're very ill-equipped. Snipe sitting with an AK and a Bison is not going to beat someone that's playing an SVD and a shotgun from close range.
Yeah, no, definitely ain't gonna happen. But right now we got Snipe and Ezio, who can sort of live the dream over here, get the buybacks at a later stage, and let's see what that is going to be looking like for Next Esports. But moving on to other players, we will have a TN Connor Lion as well. Matador in a good position right over here, and that is just going to be outside Uniri or Query, so they're going to be quite good for them.
TN Esports. I'm still trying to figure out what team is TN Esports. Did they make it into the top 6?
I don't think they did. No, they didn't.
Unlucky. RXC will be the first team to be getting eliminated. Oh. Purgatory is a really confusing map, to be honest, so I don't even blame them for this happening. Because of all the maps on this game, this map you'll need to walk away from the fight knowing the other guy can't come back. But it's way too big with way too many hiding spots. You can't necessarily leave someone to say, "Oh, I'm just gonna farm them for KP." Because if they walk away, like on Bermuda, you can actually that's actively a game plan I've witnessed some teams do. They find a whole squad, they kill 3 players, let that one guy go. He gets the squad back. Then they just go wipe them again, just farming them off of KP. But you can't do that on
Yeah.
Purgatory because the the loot distribution on this map is absolutely mental. One house can have enough loot for a whole team and then some.
Yeah.
So this map, as soon as you run into a team, you're most likely you're either wiping them or they're wiping you. No one's trying to play for go for the revive.
Yeah. So the fight you take, it's guaranteed eliminations. It has to come through because everyone's gonna be fully loaded out, kitted out over there. And that's exactly what we're gonna be seeing right now. Connor in a position of fighting. Senzo goes down. However, Juicy, Sneaky, and Windy, the previous Boo-Ha winners for game number 1, taking in some fights. Sneaky also in a position over here. Enzo's gonna get a buyback. Need to get a buyback right now. Juicy taking some action from distance. Does look like he's going in with some damaging the walls. Oh, the 1v2 though that he's doing from different angles that he's putting himself in. However, he's gonna get taken down. Juicy's gonna get eliminated over here, and the confirmation is just about to come in.
Unlucky for them. They're down to just Sneaky. Does Sneaky have enough coins to get his teammates back in the game? It is going to be rather difficult for them to get eliminated right about now because they're currently standing on top of the leaderboard. They do not want this game to throw them off. If they can secure 2 games in the top 3, and they could just kick their feet up in the last game knowing we're fully qualified.
Honestly, like it's still 3 more weeks though to sort of compete in, but just try someone that I feel like I'm confident to see them go all the way through to the grand finals. They constantly shown in the past that they're a team to be reckoned with, and with the performance that they also brought in game number 1, definitely they have that talent, the skill, and maybe the best skill gap is going to come out from just try in this group stage that we are looking at right now.
Let's see just how well they will perform because everyone has high hopes for JT. Will they keep up with our expectations, or will they let us down? It is I don't even know what to expect from these players, to be honest.
Definitely on the books though for them was not to get eliminated so early in terms of losing players and then getting the buyback. That is definitely wasn't on the charts for them in game number 2. But they've already managed to get Juicy back. Sneaky did that. We did see them earlier on that position. On the other side, we got Big Daddy, Volcray, No Mercy, and as well as Marshadow in a position where they're just rotating, looting up, and all of that. So just try fully bought back. You got Senzo and Windy also back into fighting position. We got players taking a bit of damage in zone, and it does look like there is going to be a fight also coming out over here. So let's see what happens. But MBL going up against an opponent right now, and it does look like they have the upper hand. They're more aggressive on this position, pushing in very confidently, as we can see right now in this play over here. Oh, beautiful. Easy plays coming out for this team.
Madeline, will this be the game where they pick up those eliminations and the points that they need for the final game to actually qualify? How many teams are even going to qualify from this point? Is it going to be top 6 teams or is it top 5?
How it's going to work is over the 5 weeks, the top 12 teams will be able to qualify through to the grand final. So you have to come in and week out, put in the time into the ACGL grind powered by Predator, and find yourself qualifying. So whilst there's 53 participants, there's multiple groups happening at the same time, fighting for their points. And over the next 5 weeks, from every group, they will find the top 12 teams with the most points over there. So sure, it's very competitive, man.
Very competitive. My goodness, will these players be able to keep up? Because going out week after week, if it was more of an elimination style thing, then sure, a lot of the players would be a lot more relaxed by it. But knowing that your guaranteed spot this week could not be the same by everyone's performance
Yes.
next week, they have to keep coming with their A game. That's a pretty solid strat, actually.
Honestly, and it puts in a lot of grinding that comes in from these players week in and week out, and that's the whole theme of ACGL grind. We're talking about, taking the prize pool from 10,000 rand to 15,000 rand, and it can be done simply by ensuring we have 32 signups per week, and that's going to guarantee an additional 2,000 rand to the prize pool. If we can get 150 concurrent viewers on any one of the streams, we can get an additional 1,000 rand. And then obviously, guys, when you're posting your results, when you're posting anything regarding the tournament, make sure to use the hashtag FFZA grind, and that's going to allow you to add an additional 2,000 rand to the guaranteed 10,000 rand that we have over there. So it's honestly up to these players, the community of Free Fire, to back up the ACGL grind over here and get a massive 15,000 rand prize pool at the end of 5 weeks that will see these players compete in the qualifying rounds.
Yo, 15,000 rands. I keep asking Iro, are you sure you're not gonna join up? You're not gonna team up with me? Let's compete.
Honestly, Zeno, you don't want me on your team. I'm just gonna give you the ammo, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna be able to shoot any of these players.
It's 15,000
like,
rands.
I'm your support player. I'll just be your support player. You can be the fragger and the IGL, and then we can see how that works.
Support is meant to. I mean, it's a plan, though. It's a plan. We make a plan, we execute.
Execute.
But
it's
just now.
Yeah.
The
only question is, who's gonna be commentating our gameplay?
I will still do it. We'll still do it. That's the advantage of being in there. It's just gonna be one-sided commentary.
One silent one indeed. Heavy breathing back and forth though.
Yeah. The commentary is mostly gonna be the call out. He's one, he's low.
Yeah.
Heading straight back into the game. Heading straight back into the game. Next esports, we'll be sitting with 3 eliminations. Yet to pick up. Predator is a pretty slow map, given by the size and how risky it is to get into a fight. Knowing that everybody is trying to get a full squad wipe rather than getting just a random elimination or just a pick. No one is going to try to pick a fight right about now, to be honest. Everybody's going to try hold out maybe till the fifth ring, and then we're going to see a lot more insane combat.
Yeah, we got a Valkyrie and their team going into big comeback. Big Daddy quite low on HP. No Mercy as well, quite low. And they are going to get a full team wipe. It is MDL picking up, I believe, their 9th elimination for game number 2. They're looking very aggressive. Oh, not even 9th elimination. That is going to be the 14th.
14 eliminations. Medellin are doing pretty solidly. Just one map is already turning it around because they weren't doing so hot on the first map actually.
Honestly, and now they've already picked up double-digit eliminations, and we're not even close to that final closing zone just yet. We got 16 players also remaining, so it is a good W key fest that is happening over here in these qualifying rounds. Guys, this is nothing like what you're going to be seeing at the end of 5 weeks. That grind finals, we're talking about the 12 best teams in Africa competing for a share of the prize pool. Ain't nobody going to be wanting to jump into risky positions and W keying. But right now, these qualifying rounds, the skill gap is going to be a bit orangey between first, second, third, etc. But imagine the best of the best competing in one single match, one single map. It is going to be, honestly, one of the best gameplays you guys will be able to witness, all powered by ACGL as well as Predator.
Valley Esports will be with 14 eliminations, currently down to just 2 players. With 16 players left in this lobby, do they stand a chance of placing solidly, or will they be getting eliminated? Because numbers win a lot, especially on Purgatory. The map is very wide open. You have very little natural cover. If you do not have glue walls, it's over. Just pack it up, wrap it up, and go back to the lobby. Medellin, however, will be sitting with my goodness, that's 18 eliminations. They are not coming here to play. They still have a
Not at
lot
all.
of teams. They still have a lot of teams, at least 12 extra players that they could potentially pick up eliminations on. Are they going to be able to make it to the top three? Because having these eliminations it means nothing if you don't make it into that top three, because that is what is going to actually catapult your team from being at the bottom half of the lobby to make it straight into the top. I think they were top three actually, top four actually. Sorry.
See what that's going to mean for them this time around. Drax needing to be brought back. I don't think there's any position in which it can come through for them. Luxon and his team just need to get into that safe zone. Colico holding back, but it does look like we're going to be finding ourselves in an open retail space here for the end game. And it does look like NDL might potentially be in the better positioning in comparison to everyone else. I think that heal might potentially just go in favor for them. We've got DN, LZ, Fox, Pookie, and RB in a position right over here, taking long distance shots, connecting 51 damage over there, 56 massive beams coming out here from Pookie, managing to connect a couple shots on the opposition as they rotate.
Disney will still be sitting with, I don't see how many eliminations they have. They will be sitting with 2-team eliminations. They're not having the best games today, but they still do not falter as they are running it down, taking shots. They currently have the best real estate right in this lobby right about now. So they have a boatload of natural cover. They have a one-way in. The only problem they'd have is if a team gets close enough to feed them nade. Because feeding this building nade has 4 entry points, but only one way to actually get to the top, and that is riddled with a plethora of landmines.
Honestly, but right now they don't seem to be in the safe zone completely, and once that completely shrinks, they might need to get out of this building and find themselves in the fields. But they just got lucky. No, it does look like they need to retreat completely, and now finding themselves in a 4v4 combat positioning over here. Pookie trying to get into that safe zone, managing to do so with barely any HP. He's going to get knocked, and it's down to LZ from Disney to do what they can do best. But NDL, obviously, with the consistency that they found themselves in at the very beginning, find themselves fighting in here, the final position for a top 3. But it does look like 2 players are left from NDL, and that's going to be 2 in Solico, getting their confirmations right over there. And this team is sitting on massive amounts of points. But just try yet again in the end game, from being close to being eliminated, a hairline from being eliminated, to now being a full complete team fighting for the Buha. And I think honestly, just try might come through with a back-to-back. What do you think about that?
Can they go for a back-to-back is a question that honestly I would like to see them do. But at the same time, Medellin do deserve a win with the amount of frags they're putting down. They do deserve this victory. If any team actually deserves a win here, it would be Medellin. Celico alone has 9 eliminations. That is more than a lot of the teams have combined. I think they're currently holding the best spot actually, because the house is not in the building. They have technically the middle of zone and the only other natural cover in the game, still creating more spaces to just control. They're controlling as much space as they can, and we love to see it. I love how Celico is drawing their attention in front, while we have 2-7 sitting on top of the roof, just being rather quiet, making sure, just basically waiting for someone to peek out and get absolutely victimized by the pincer that will just befall him if he goes out there.
Colico playing very good right now. Movement's also good in between as much as he can do right now. He's still in the open, and we got 2 who's on the rooftop, which is also a good position, but it's a 2v1 v4 if I'm not mistaken that we have our hands over here, trying to get a good snipe shot, but unfortunately isn't able to connect any of his shots right over there.
He would need his shots to connect now because they almost have a victory. They almost have a guaranteed victory. Can they clutch this? Is he going to let I think that's Juicy. That's someone from the Just Try team. Is he going to let this man get close enough to him? You said we'll be getting 2 eliminations there. It's looking like it's GG's for the Just Try squad.
Does look like that as Senso goes down. Windy's left alone as a solo, but he's also quite low, and he actually got a kill right over there. It's a 1v1 situation as Senso's been knocked over here, and Windy can go in for the back-to-back, but the most deserving team is going to be NBL, who's find himself right over here, but Windy putting in all the pressure on the opponent right over here. Soloko with the sniper in hand can't do much, and it is going to be a back-to-back boo-ha from Windy, who's managed to clutch a 1v2 situation.
The Quadra with the absolute best RNG Windy had there. The biggest mismatch that could possibly happen. A double sniper versus a dual close range is absolutely mental there. But Just Try going with a back-to-back victory, coming in the second game, first place with a total of 9 eliminations. But Medellin in second place will be coming in with a total of 24 eliminations.
He's Medellin.
Big numbers.
Big numbers indeed. We got DN coming in third over there with only 2 eliminations, not taking advantage of an end game finishing position for them right over there. But that is the top 3 teams of a game number 2, week number 2. But talk about Madeline, right? Coming in with massive amount of kills, 24, finishing in second place position is still massive. And I think that's going to put them a lot more points on that leaderboard when we look at it. And then Just Try with the back-to-back booyah. That's exactly what we want to see in terms of consistency, especially when we're looking at a ladder for the leaderboard where the top 12 teams of the 5 weeks will be going through to the grand finals of the ACGL grind, brought to you by Predator. Guys, before we take a little bit of a break, we'll be back with the leaderboard updated of the game number 2 to go into the final game of the evening, to make sure that you guys getting your cup of teas, because it is starting to get cold, but for these players it's just starting to get hot and sweaty. So let's see you guys in just a bit. back-to-back boo-haws here for Just Try, managing to win game number 1 and game number 2, but not the most deserving win coming out from Just Try, as Madeline were the most aggressive team right over there, picking up 24 kills, but just not managing to secure the boo-ha. It was Windy who managed to get that 1v2 clutch, and unfortunately for the last player, I believe it was Silico, who just had a sniper at hand. He couldn't do too much in that position. But this is the leaderboard after game number 2. We got Just Try Pro with 51, Madeline with 44, and obviously doing very well after that game number 2. FaZe OP with 23 points sitting in 3rd. We got Atla Game in 4th with 23. We got WKFM in 5th with 22. And then we got Valo Esports in 6th with 21. For the remaining part of the second half of the leaderboard, they're going to need to do something. Pull a rabbit out of a hat or find a hidden trick that is going to work for the final game to try secure a lot more points, especially for the likes of Rage, who find themselves on the back foot. Remember, this is what these players are competing for a share of 10,000 Rand in the grand finals that will come after qualifying after 5 weeks. First place being 5,000 Rand, second being 3,000 Rand, and third being 2,000 Rand. Some big money to be made over here in the ACGL grind, powered by Predator. And remember, you as a community can continue fighting for a bigger prize pool by just engaging on the platform. Firstly, 150 concurrent viewers is going to secure you 1,000 Rand. And if you get 1 million social media sort of impressions using the hashtag FFZA grind, you then can add a 2,000 Rand to that. And there's just so much more that you guys can be fighting for. But if you work as a community, it can be attainable. We do got game number 3 on the way, and it does look like we're going to be taking the route from Ventai all the way down to the Snowfall. So let's see what Vintage is going to be looking like, where our players going to be dropping in. We've got Athel, Emperor, Baby, and Toxin in the position right over here.
Map 3 will be on Alpine. How will this game play out? Alpine is a blend of Bermuda and Purgatory, so it's kind of a befitting map to end today's games on. How will the teams fare on this map? Because just like Purgatory, it is a very wide map, but where I take the Bermuda thing from, it has a bunch of natural cover, and a lot of the teams have a better chance of actually fighting back, unlike what we saw in the endgame from on Purgatory Day, where the teams are just stuck in the building or they're just stuck in a corner, not able to really do much because they don't have enough glue walls to face maybe a sniper or just someone that's absolutely running them down with grenades there or something. But Just Try will be taking a bit of damage off rip already. It's not looking good for them. The table was rather interesting actually. Seeing the great shift, Athlete Game and Fazzo B both didn't really move much, but Medley went from bottom 6 to top 2. It's absolutely insane work. RXT Esports might be the first team to be getting a limit, as Thunders is the last man standing and he will be getting beamed. Is he going to be able to make it to cover though? Will he make it to the vehicle? What is his playstyle going to be now? Because they know exactly where he's when he will get a final headshot and send him back to the lobby there.
Honestly, not even back to the lobby, back to good night and see you next week, as that is the final game that we do have right over here coming in. So dying in off a spawn, not going to be ideal. Madeline, obviously, guys, are the key players coming in from game number 2, managing to dominate a 24 kill second place. They obviously want to continue with that consistency heading into game number 3. And then we got that back-to-back booyah from Just Try. We did see a couple action coming in off spawn, taking a bit of damage there and there, but I don't think the Just Try is going to be eliminated. In fact, it is a full team wipe coming out from them with 4 kills already to the name. And Windy, yet again, is showing that he is a team player, pulling in 3 eliminations already in an off-spawn position. Right now, Senzo
JT,
looking
will they
very
be
good.
able to pull down? Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting there. But will JT be able to pull up a treble victory for today's games, or will a team finally end their streak? They showed that they were an aggressive team in the first game when they put up 18 eliminations there. They showed that they're a smart team when they ended the game with, I think, 9 eliminations, but still secured the victory. So they've shown that they can play on both sides of the coin. What will the team actually match them, or will a team just? We need a team to actually overpower them, so we know that the quality of players are still quite high. Because Medellin almost did that. Medellin put up 24 eliminations. That's more than half the actual lobby. If 44 players loaded in, they killed more than half the lobby already. Are they going to be able to maintain the same level of aggression in this game? Because that might just secure them the victory. I feel like if they were on any map but Purgatory, they would have overcome this try in the last game.
It was just so unfortunate to, get the Silico, the last remaining player, to be in a sniper position. Unfortunate for them right over there. But more unfortunate is going to be Roro High and this team over there as they take massive damage coming in from TN. It does look like it is going to be a full team wipe potentially coming into players. There's one lost. Okay, no, 2 more players remaining. No, was that last player?
I think that might be the last player, actually. Valor Esports might have just been eliminated, or they just left with 1 man standing. BL. Athlete Gaming has been eliminated. Roro High, the last man standing for Valor Esports. Just try are yet. They picked up only 4 eliminations. That is their score up, so I can't really say only. We haven't seen much from WKFM though. They were really interesting to watch in the first game, especially Uncle J. He hasn't put up a performance of note since that first game when he almost got the squad wipe on JT with those well-placed landmines.
Let's see what will happen coming out from the teams over there. But right now for WKFM, they don't want to lose the points that they did have by doing terrible game 2 and as well as game number 3. There's still so much opportunity here for game 3 to just, pick up 10, 20 more points on the board over here. Got a sniper position, or not sniper, but long range position shot coming in over there. And we got Sneaky's getting a couple eliminations coming in as well for them.
Are Medellin going to be able to maintain that momentum that they had in the last game? Is the question I just asked, and I'm asking yet again because we've yet to see them pick up eliminations. But JT will be picking up even more. They're not slowing down as they had. The last time we saw them, they had 4. Now they have 8 eliminations. They doubled it.
Jeez, and that just happens when you blink, man. Just try already picking up double their kill count in a matter of 2 minutes. Good long-range distance coming out from the players right over here. Luxon honestly beaming away, feeding bullets here for dinner. And it does look like Soloco going in with some shots over there, but it's not going to be good enough for him. He's going to get taken down. And Drax, Luxon, and Tohu are going to be shooting from distance. And good shots coming out from Luxon right over there. But I think just disengaging from the situation is going to be the ideal play from Luxon, as he's not taking a closer shot and he's actually taking massive damage. He's going to go down, and it's down to 2 and Drax for Madeline right over here to sort of get some buybacks and have these players then fighting in for an endgame position.
Medellin will be getting those buybacks back in. They will get back Luxon. I thought they would have gone for Silco, to be honest, because he is a very dominating sniper. In the last game, we saw him put up 9 eliminations. At some end game, he had 9 eliminations the last time we saw him before he got eliminated. It wasn't really looking good for them, especially the mismatch against Juicy. I don't think I think that's probably why he's on the bench right about now, being the last person to get revived, because they do not want a situation where he's stuck again with the sniper and he's getting absolutely rolled by someone that's playing just a hard counter, which is a close range weapon. Because most snipers, especially in the current meta of Free Fire, we don't really have snipers that are as versatile as they used to be back in the day, where a sniper can just drop off, pick up a shotgun and just absolutely go ham with it. Snipers are more focused on getting the damage output as quickly as possible. There's a plethora of snipers to get good at. There's not going to be that versatility that the old players used to have.
Yeah, no, definitely. But when used right, it does pay off. 9 eliminations is massive to pick up from Solokar. Obviously, if he had a better positioning for the final kill points, then we would have had a Booyah coming out from Madeline, and that would have been an extra good points to pick up for the Buha over there. We got DN Pookie, who's going to be alone, maybe getting some buybacks at a future stage. Snipe, Al, Ledex, Polisizio, Chris, not doing too bad. We got 6 eliminations on board over here, 29 players, 30 players still alive in and around the vicinity. I think this has to be one of the slowest games out of the 3. What do you think, Zeno? I think definitely slowest game of the
Yeah,
3.
I think it is definitely the slowest game of the 3 because the players, most of them are resigned to their fate, but they're still the ones that believe. Since it's only 3 games and we've seen Medellin absolutely switch up the leaderboard in just 1 game, there's still a chance for them to throw that final Hail Mary and see if they can actually make it into the top 6. Because it's going to be the top 12 teams that qualify, so you want to place in the top 6 every single day. If every single week out of 5 weeks that we'll be playing, you're in the top 6, it is going to almost be guaranteed that you're making it to the finals. So maybe this might, yeah.
The math is not mathing. You have to be top 3.
Top 12. Top 3. I thought it was going to be top 12 teams.
There's 53 teams playing today over different maps, over different group stages.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, nah. It's 2 a.m. In my defense, Ira, it's 2 a.m.
Oh, damn. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
no. So it is 53 teams that are competing today alone, and only top 12 out of 5 weeks are going to make it through to the grand final. So you have to put in like a top 2 or top 3 position each group stage that you're in, and then from there you find yourself as the top 12.
Almost. I was trying to figure out how the math was gonna match towards the end, but I was like, hey, if that's not my job, that's ACGL. But apparently I was way off.
Very off. Very off. But
Back
you know what?
Yeah.
53 participants massive come out from these players in the community from Free Fire.
That's absolutely 53 teams competing around. 53 multiplied by 4. That's 53 plus times 4 players each per team. It's big numbers, to be honest. Very big numbers.
Yeah, and it could even grow even more when these players start grinding in on that hashtag, letting people know about these tournaments in and around the social media pages. Because guys, why not? It is the ACGL grind brought to you by a Predator, where you guys can add 5,000 Rand more to your already guaranteed 10,000 Rand a prize pool. So go ahead and do exactly that. We got Madeline still with 2 players left alone in their team. Buybacks option still to come pretty soon. We've got 26 players on board. There's been 4 players eliminated since about 4 minutes ago. And we've got Valkyrie taking a bit of damage. He's going to get knocked over there and immediately revived. And then we've seen Big Daddy pick up some 2 kills back to back over there. That's going to be very good for him. Valkyrie, Mercy, and Marshadow immediately downed. And Big Daddy now left alone as a solo.
Will Big Daddy be able to get his teammates back in? We cannot see the amount of coins he has. Wendy will be shutting him down. Unlucky for HA, they will be getting eliminated yet again by JT.
Got TN Connor, FE. We also got Lion and Noah still alive right over here. 7 eliminations for this team and looking quite decent. And we're just talking about the player base, but immediately look at that again. We're down to 16 players. So you're literally blinking and missing the action displayed on screen right over here. Just try in an endgame position with what seems to be 15 kills, 16 kills. The math is mathing, and the ACGL will see that over there.
And 13 eliminations.
13. Thank you, Zeno. 2 a.m. Still managing to put the numbers up.
Goodness. Yeah, the numbers I can see I can put up. Anything else, it's between them. Oh my days. Anyways, with 13 eliminations coming in from JT, will they be able to pull up a treble victory for today? Or will a team be shutting them down? They might shut them down in this game, but it doesn't seem like they will be pushing them out of that top three because they have pretty much solidified their spot there. Except Medellin got eliminated rather early without putting up elimination. Medellin too might just be getting put out of the top three scenario here.
Oh, what a good shot coming out from Sneaky. Doesn't look like he can get his confirmation. It does look like Windy also manages to get a knockdown. But beautiful shots over there, and as well as confirmations coming in for the team right now. Just tries. And Sneaky alone sitting on 4 eliminations. Sniper paying off here at distance. You do got Juicy with 1 elimination at hand. And we did see game number 1, him coming in with some unique plays for a buyback in that final endgame circle, somehow managing to do it. We got VL, who's picked up decent amount of kills. We got about 11 kills right over here, which is fantastic to see coming out from VL. They haven't been too active throughout the tournament, but now starting to get a little bit more kill points for them. Still so much placement points to be made over here, as there is 11 players in and around the vicinity that they can go through and eliminate, and then potential Boo-ha. But with the likes of Just Try being in here, I don't know if that's going to be possible. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what that's going to be looking like. But right now, good natural coverage that could come through for these players. The zone is coming into a final right over here. And we've got Senzo's been knocked over here by Loncano, and we've got Jaguar who's been healed up right over there. Good support plays coming out from the team. The chemistry right now between these 4 players is looking ever so juicy, as they're now pushing into a solo player position right now, and they're working and doing that as a full trio. The chemistry right now is looking fantastic. Players going down, Hirori, Jaguar, Rory High, and as well as Loncano still alive and fighting for the Boo-ha right now. 7 players remaining. Could be a 4v3 position for the win. Will that come through? We'll have to wait and see exactly what that's going to be looking like.
Is it 4-3 just against Just Try here? JT will have 2 knock, making it a 2v2 scenario. Will they get third? They will get the third. Do they get the last man? If they get this last man, if Juicy can clutch this, he has absolutely just given his team a treble victory. He is literally one shot. It is a mismatch. The sniper versus the shotgun. Juicy is not supposed to win this.
He isn't, but it does look like his movement is playing in favor of, and I just say that, and VL are gonna steal the treble away from Just Try with the Boo-ha. But honestly, a really great game performance coming out from VL right over there for the final game to get double-digit eliminations, as well as the victory right over there is absolutely juicy. But Just Try coming in with 17 eliminations, massive. 9 plus 7, 16 eliminations for VL right over there.
16 eliminations is absolute mental for their first victory. I wonder what the leaderboard is going to look like, because they were really doing pretty good, and now they've just secured 16 plus 12 is 28 points. What do you remember what they had in the last game? Because I feel like that's going to push them to at least top four position.
It's gonna do really well. I mean, either way, picking up that amount of points for final game is better than the struggles that these guys did have over there. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the 3 games. But don't go anywhere. We will be giving you guys the standings in just a bit. But we can talk about exactly what you guys witnessed throughout the 3 games. It was Just Try in game number 1, where they lost the entire team and hopes for a Boo-ha, where a landmine took out 3 of their players. But that didn't stop a sneaky play coming out from Juicy, who managed to get a buyback, and then suddenly there were 5 players in the map, a 4v1 against Madeline and against RKM, against them, and they managed to lose that one with a good boo-ha. But game number 2, just try. We did see Madeline pull through with 24 eliminations. And just when we thought the deserving team was looking to pick up the boo-ha, it was Windy who managed to pull off a 1v2 clutch. And then it was a 1v1 play with Silico with a sniper. And unfortunately, Windy took advantage of that and managed to pick up the win overall over there. In game number 3, we did see a beautiful gameplay coming out from Valor, who managed to pick up 16 kills and the boo-ha. And this is going to be the final leaderboard of the game number 3. Just Try Esports picking up a massive 77 points. Madeline still staying consistent in the second with 50. Valor now coming into that top 3 position with 49 points, and then dropping down to 4th is Next Esports, where they also managed to do quite well. YKFM, the team that came second in game number 1, unfortunately didn't finish strong in game 2 and 3, now finishing off the day with 30 points at hand. Face OP 29, Team Nada 25, Atla Game with 25 as well, HA with 21, Rage X Esports with 8, and we got Toxic Solomon with 0. That is going to be the top 11 players or for this group. There's obviously 53 participants across the entire week number 2. If you guys are looking to join in on the Free Fire, make sure to head over to acgl.gg/grind. You guys can register for the Free Fire tournament, where we have a 10,000 Rand grand finals guaranteed, but you guys could make it 5,000 Rand more by grinding on the social media platforms. Next week, I want to see 150 concurrent viewers, and that's going to add a prize pool to the tournament. I want to see more posts using the hashtag FFZAGrind. That's going to even add over there. And then a guarantee 32 signups every week for the next 5 weeks. And that is going to guarantee another 2,000 Rand. Guys, but it is the evening, or for some people like Zeno, it is the early mornings. And we will be signing off for you guys. Thank you so much, Zeno, for joining on this. It was great to see you once more again. And I can't wait for next week, where we continue sharing the story with you guys, the viewers, and as well as the supporters of these players right up again. To the ACGL team, and as well as the producer, Blank, for making a fantastic show behind the scenes right up there. Thank you to everyone. I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your evening or your early morning. But until then, guys, see you same time next week for week number 3.